Well, this is the all-new Maruti Suzuki Ciaz SHVS. Well, it's pretty much like the older version of the car, but it gets an all-new micro-hybrid technology which enhances its fuel efficiency and also makes it a better car to drive in the city. And this is the RS version of the car, which also gets lots of body kit. Well, the Ciaz has had one of the best boots in its category. It's no different with this updated SHVS version of the car. As you can see, the aperture is pretty wide and it is a pretty deep boot, which means that if you are someone who enjoys a good game of golf, then throwing in that kit should not be an issue at all. So even though there's a bit of a lip over here, it's not a big issue at all. And with over 500 litres of luggage carrying capacity, this is one of the best cars in the mid-size segment along with the Honda City. Well, with that excellent wheelbase on the outside, the cabin and the rear seat in particular offers you loads of knee space, and as you can see, knee room is more than generous, and I have got place below the front seats where I can stretch my feet. Headroom is impressive as well, even for someone who is my height, which is 5'10" for reference. There's more than adequate space and there's good levels of comfort, and it is a very wide car at the back, which means you can sit three in comfort. The other good point about the Ciaz is the fact that the floor panel is very flattish, and what that means is that whoever is sitting here in the middle has plenty of place to stretch his feet at. Well, so here I am driving the new Ciaz with the SHVS system, and it's a mild hybrid system, which means that when you stop at a signal and you release the clutch, the engine shuts off automatically, and what that means is that this car gives you better fuel efficiency than the earlier generation of the car, and this in fact is the most fuel efficient car in India now. This car delivers 28.9 kpl, which is simply outstanding considering this car's size as well as weight. Well, this is the RS version that we are driving. Maruti has just released the RS version in the market, and as you can see, it's got an all black cabin. Quality is very good. In fact, it is one of the best cars in terms of quality in this segment now, and you get a whole lot of bells and whistles with this top end version of the car. You of course get this huge touchscreen over here, which is like an iPad, and it's very intuitive to operate, very easy to operate, and one of the best systems in the market at the moment. Well, even though on paper it's only a 1.3 litre engine and offers you about 90 bhp of power, this engine feels more than adequate. So no matter where you're driving it, if you're in the city, it feels decent, and even when you take it out on the highway and are driving it with a full complement of passengers, you don't really feel any need of extra power because this engine feels more than adequate to do the duty it's asked to do. Well, the other good point about the Ciaz diesel is the fact that this engine is pretty refined, and even when you rev it hard and when you are driving it on the highway, the cabin remains a pretty relaxing place to be in, and that along with this huge glass area makes this one of the most comfortable cabins in the mid-size segment at the moment. Well, the diesel version of the Ciaz has always been the pick between the petrol and the diesel engines in its range, and this SHVS version is a big improvement on that diesel as it is. It's a 90 bhp engine and it's pretty adequately powered for the city. There's a little bit of turbo lag when you start off from zero, but it goes away as soon as you cross around 1700-1800 RPM, and that makes it a pretty decent car to drive if you are someone who drives himself. The gearbox is a joy to operate. It's a very slick unit. It's got very short throws and it's also very sporty to use, and that along with the light clutch makes driving this car in the city a very breezy affair. Well, almost every Maruti car offers you a very good blend of sporty handling as well as good ride comfort, and the Ciaz is no different. And this car offers you a very cushiony ride. It really does soak in those bumps very well, and if you are doing slow city speeds or even when you are on the highway, there is very little which filters into the cabin. The other plus point, of course, of having such a long wheelbase is the fact that this car really does soak in those bumps without any fuss at all, and that along with those chunky tires on the outside really go a long way in delivering you solid levels of grip. So if you are someone who enjoys pushing his car into a corner, then the Ciaz is pretty good at that job. Well, even though the Ciaz isn't an all-out sporting saloon, it does offer you some driving thrills, and that's largely because the steering wheel offers you good communication and decent feedback, and the tires offer you very good levels of grip from the surface below, and that along with its relatively agile chassis makes it a decent car for those keen drivers out there. Well, the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz has always been a very strong package, and now with the arrival of the all-new SHVS diesel, it really does take the game further away from all its rivals. In short, this is the best mid-size car that you can buy at the moment in India.